Hi guys, Teacher Monica here. We are reading chapter 3 of Deenie by Judy Blume. Here we go. Let's see what Deenie's up to today. At 3 o'clock, I ran for the girls' room, and so did everybody else. I was mobbed with all the kids who were going to tryouts. I didn't bother forcing my way close to the mirror. I went downstairs, and when I passed the special class, they were lining up to leave, so I looked the other way. They gave me a creepy feeling. I'm always scared Gina Courtney will see me and say something I won't know what to say back. I met Janet outside the auditorium. We waited a few minutes to make sure we wouldn't be the first ones going in. Then we walked down the aisle, found 2 seats in the middle of the fourth row. The 3 judges were already there: Miss Rappaport, Mr. Delphon, and Miss Anderson. Miss Rappaport is the girls' gym teacher. She really likes us. You can tell by the way she talks. She never raises her voice. And she doesn't make a big thing out of how clean our sneakers are either. Mr. Delphon is the boys' gym teacher, and Mrs. Anderson is the vice principal of our school. As far as I know, her only job is deciding what to do with kids who are discipline problems, because if you make trouble, you get sent to Miss Anderson's office. And sometimes you have to sit on the bench outside for a long time. At 3:15, Miss Rappaport stood up and said, "We're ready to begin now. Remember, girls, we'd love to choose every one of you, but we can only pick 1 7th grader, 2 8th graders, and 3 girls from 9th grade. So, if you don't make it, don't feel too badly. There are so many other activities at Adams Junior High." Me and Janet squeezed hands. Hers felt cold and clammy. I pressed my legs tight together, hoping I wouldn't get so nervous that I'd have to go to the bathroom. Mrs. Rappaport said, "We're going to call on you alphabetically, and you can each do 1 cheer. After this round, we'll decide on 15 finalists." I looked around the auditorium. That meant most of us wouldn't even make it to the finals. The first girl, called Alice Applebaum, a 9th grader. She went up on stage and did the same cheer I was going to do, spelling out the school name, first very slow, then faster, and finally very fast, with a big jump and a yay team at the end. She was really good, and I was sure she would make it. 4 girls went before Miss Rappaport called Wilmadine Fenner. I stood up thinking this was almost as bad as at the modeling agency. Janet whispered, "Good luck, Deenie," and we squeezed hands again. I ran to the front of the auditorium because that's what Alice Applebaum did, and I figured she knew the ropes. I went to the stairs and out onto the stage. I didn't look at the judges or the other girls because I knew if I did, I'd never be able to go through with it. I just stood there clearing my throat like an idiot, and then I began. A, D, A, M, S. A, D, A, M, S. Adams, Adams, Adams. Junior high. Yay, team. I jumped as high as I could, but my head didn't come close to touching my feet like Alice Applebaum's did. Still, I thought I'd done okay, and when I passed Susan Minton on the way back to my seat, she whispered, "You were great, Deenie." For once, I was glad she thought so. About 40 minutes later, Miss Rappaport announced the 15 finalists, and Janet made it, but I didn't. I pretended I was really happy for her. We hugged and everything before she said, "I was sure it would be you, Deenie." I couldn't even answer her because I knew if I did, I'd start crying. So I just shook my head and tried to smile. I sat there all through the finals, not wanting to. But what would Janet think if I walked out on her? I was hoping that Janet wouldn't make it. I wanted the other seventh grader who made the finals to win. Then, me and Janet could be unhappy together. But when Miss Rappaport announced the judge's decision, Janet was the seventh grader they picked. And I had to act like I was really happy for her all over again. She said, "I have to call my mother right away. Oh, Deenie, I'm so excited." I wish we could have both made it. I managed to say, "Sure." Janet went to the phone booth outside the auditorium, and while she was telling her mother the good news, I knocked on the door and said I couldn't wait because I had to meet Helen at my father's gas station, which was a big lie. But I couldn't face riding home on the bus with Janet. The end of chapter 3. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time for chapter 4.